Ladies and gentlemen, this is Frank Donga, and you're listening to Boom Radio. Boom Radio. Keep listening. Don't touch it.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is Mumba right here on your Boom Radio NG. My name is Oladolupo and I bid you a warm welcome to the bar today. It is Thursday. It is the Thursday, 6th February 2025. And today we're going to be talking about a lot of things. You know, it's usual. The kind of things that we talk about, we just about. There are quite a number of things. There's a part of the House of Representatives that's talking about having a whooping 31 more states. Not like our land mass is increasing. No. It's just that they're literally going to cannibalize the states. Basically, that's what they're saying. So will this debate go on? We'll see. We don't know what is going to happen, but definitely we're going to be watching and seeing what is going to happen with that. ICPC uncovers pension fraud. It's interesting, the kind of things that Nigerians get up to. You know, we're very quick to say government this, government that. But I like what ICPC is doing, and I think that they need to keep it up. That we'll be talking about. United States, the president of the United States has now also signed another very controversial executive order. We'll look into that. Also, from the UK, the leader, the UK leader who a lot of Nigerians do not seem to like, has said another thing that has a lot of people talking. That and quite a number of things are things that we're going to be talking about today at the bar. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's show. My name is Oladolupo, and with me in the studio is Shola Rogers.
Good morning, people. Welcome to the bar.
Okay, so we're getting right into today's show. Like I said earlier, it's interesting. First things first, just want to put some information out there. The federal government is repatriating 7,790 Nigerians from Chad. This is said that these people actually ran away during the heat of the Boko Haram attacks. That's where they ran to these neighboring country, and now they're bringing them back to Nigeria.
It's a bit of good news. It's massive news, thinking that we actually have more people who left Nigeria because that particular part of Nigeria was devastated by these criminals, these bandits. So definitely made life very, very hellish for everybody. And to think, you know, they're talking about over 1,700 families, a total of over 7,000 people, 7,700 or so, are going to come back home, you know, under the auspices of the Nigerian government, spearheaded by the governor of Borno State, Professor Zulum, whom I would like to commend a lot. I think he's an amazing human being. Like the way he has tackled this banditry issue head on, of course with the support of the federal government, but the way he's taking it, like, brought people back, resettled them, they've built homes for a lot of people. It's safe
to say that, because first things first is that these places are safe to a large extent to bring people back. Yeah,
so, you know, they even went a step further by building new homes for them, then resettling them with, you know, materials for farming and for feeding and funds. I think that's the way government should be in this kind of scenario and situation. And it's just one batch. There are more people, you know. And again, at this point, you know, you say, oh, Nigeria is big, Nigeria is this and that. But you had your citizens living in another country for many years as refugees.
Yeah. So that's safe to say
it's
that
huge.
That's a good
but
thing.
A big shout out to you know, the entire people who worked on this. The UNHCR were part of it, the federal government, and of course the people of Chad and the government of Chad.
Now, let's move on to like one of the main gist of the day. So, the House of Representatives Committee on Review of the 1999 Constitution has today announced that it has received 31 proposals for the creation of new states across the 6 geopolitical zones. So let's break it down. So it's not them. They're saying that they received the proposal from different bodies, different states, and all that. So now what they're saying is that they're going to see that, but before that, there are actually some conditions. Those things have to be met before any state creation, before they can even go forward. At least the 1/3 of the House has to be okay with that motion in the first place before those things. But let's look at the list, and let's see how feasible some of these things are. So according to letter, there include 5 proposals from the North Central. There are 4 from the Northeast, 5 from the Northwest, 5 from the Southeast, 4 from the South, and 7 from the Southwest. Among the states include Okun, Okura, and Confluence from Kogi State, Benue, Ala, and Akpa from Benue State, FCT State, Amana from Adamawa State, Katagum from Bauchi State, Savannah State from Borno, and Muri from Taraba State. There is also what they're asking for. They're asking for New Kaduna State and Gujarat State from just only Kaduna alone, Tiga and Ari from Kanu State, Kanji from Kebbi State, Etiti and Orashi as the 6th state in the southeast, Adada from Enugu, Olu and Aba from the southeast. Then they're talking about Ogoja from Cross River, Warri State from Delta, Ori and Obolo from River State. Now, in the southwest, they're looking at Torumbe from Ondo State, Ibadan from Oyo State, Lagoon from Lagos, this small Lagos, Ogun. Lagoon State is from Lagos and Ijebu, Ogun and Okeogun and Ijesha, and from this is supposed to take a bit from Ogun, Oyo and Osun states. Everybody there, they cannibalize everything. Oh, so Peterman says we need a state in my street in Ojugbele State.
Okay, so
since everybody wants to have states now,
at this point we need Oprah again. Oprah, you get a state. You get a state. You get a state. Everybody gets a state.
Yeah.
State creation, the concept behind it is good. The concept of bringing governance closer to the people. The real issue is, do you need more states to bring governance closer to the people? These states that you're looking at are all being planned along ethnic and tribal lines.
Yeah.
Which is understandable also, that people want to be in the same state with their brothers and sisters and leave the one that they are sharing with their non-brothers and sisters who are actually their brothers and sisters still. I would have preferred, if I had such powers, a regionalized system in Nigeria. Instead of cannibalizing and balkanizing and breaking down states, a regional government. The center is Abuja, but there are 6 geopolitical zones, with 6 geopolitical leaders. Do you get? Mm-hmm. Then within those places, they can decide amongst themselves how many local governments they want.
So they're no longer states?
Yes, that was what I would prefer. Having looked at all the things that's happened in this country.
So...
Okay, go ahead. You can say what you want to say.
So just wanted to ask. Mm-hmm. So according to the Constitution, state creation can only materialize if at least 1/3 of the majority of the Senate, the House of Representatives, the House of Assembly in those states, and even the local government council as well, they all assent to it. That's the only way, Jonathan, a conversation can come up. How feasible is that?
It's very feasible. If you can get all those people as mentioned You know, if you want it so much, you will go all out for it. Do you understand? Again, the state creation is also a political thing.
Oh yeah.
For instance, there are 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria recognized that as part of our political structure. And there is a slight imbalance in the number of states in at least 2 geopolitical zones.
Yeah.
One has less than everybody,
One has more
and
than
one
everybody.
has more than everybody.
Yeah.
So if you want to strike a balance, the only place you will be creating a state is the southeast.
So Peterman says Ibadan and Ijebu states are the only legitimate and sensible areas that deserve states in the southwest. Ijebu being the only province not to get a state, and Ibadan being the only regional area not to get a state.
Yeah.
Okay, so please, this.
Yeah.
Please, I need a bit of explanation on this.
To be very, very fair and, you know, to align with Peterman, if you go by some of the things that would make for a state, a viable state, you look at the resources.
Yeah.
The land mass is one.
Oh, for land mass, I think I will get. I think Ibadan or your state needs to be divided. I think it's a lot.
The population is one. Then, of course, the natural resources and human resource and everything, of course, which is what population is. At the end of the day, you realize that if you go by that indices or that particular parameter, you probably won't create more than 2 or 3 states. And the places, for political reason that you need some kind of balancing, they won't even get one.
They won't get, because
like the southeast, the entire southeast, the land mass is barely the size of 1 or 2 states in Nigeria.
Yeah, I that's what I'm saying.
You get?
For me,
But
the
for
Southwest, I haven't
political
lived
reasons,
in your state needs to be divided.
For political reasons, the southeast deserves at least 1 more state. At least 1 more.
Because what this means is that now everybody would have at least 3 more senators. Yeah. And then numerous House of Rep members. Then how many people are going to be in the house? Then you now come up and say, you need to build a bigger place. Because
the house as currently constructed can take more people. It's not at full strength. It can take more. At least the chambers are not always packed to the rafters. I don't know about offices and everything. Maybe they could build extensions if the offices are not adequate. But the house as the physical structure of the National Assembly, I don't think there's a problem there. The place where we could really face more problems is the cost of governance definitely goes up.
Yeah, it does.
Now, that's why Nigeria as currently structured, I am for state creation. And I think that on the long run, we probably won't be creating more than 3 or 4 states.
If they be, yeah?
If they go ahead with the plans.
So
and
Peterman
everything.
has a few comments. Says Nigeria had provinces prior to independence, and like Enugu and Kanu, Ibadan was the regional capital. Shola is wrong. And the only one southeast will still create an imbalance. Northwest still has 7 states, unless you add 1 state to everybody except for the Northwest and add 2 to the Southeast.
That's exactly, we're saying the same thing. Maybe you just had a part of my statement.
Then we all get 7.
We're saying the same thing. I'm just saying that in the least, if you don't do anything at all, the Southeast should get at least 1.
Everybody else has at least 6 states.
They should get at least 1
so
for political reasons.
So I get the understanding of talking about provinces and all that, but even though Ibadan did not get a state as at then, shouldn't we have moved on? Isn't it just now being sentimental?
Who?
When he Peterman is talking about how other provinces became states and Ibadan too was a province, but it never became a state.
You don't move on from such things. You push until you get the result.
Why not? Isn't it just sentimental now?
It's not sentimental. It is the most sensible thing that could ever happen. The fact that some people don't do it in their own time doesn't mean that other people cannot. There are several things that people have agitated for through the years that never happened that are happening now.
No, I'm not saying that you can't agitate for it. I'm just saying that if that
So why would I move on? Why would I move on from something that I know has to happen?
It's not written anywhere that
I think you're the one that's being sentimental.
No,
here.
what I'm saying is it's not like there's a law that every region had to become a state. So If it didn't become a state, well, let's just move on. For me, I've always felt, okay. I've always felt that what's the word now? Oyo State needs to be reduced, and it needs to be, at least Ibadan needs to be out of it. Why? And I think that mainly because of development purposes. I think that Oyo State in itself is huge. For someone that has lived most of our life in Ibadan, you will drive 3-4 hours inside Ibadan, no traffic. It's very possible. You might be wondering. And we are inside Oyo State, and we're driving 4-5 hours from one part of the state to another. I think that development probably does not get to a certain level of people the way it probably gets. So, and you can't, the governor is just one person. So maybe if there are two governors for a certain part of different parts of Oyo State, and it's divided, and then we have two governors, and there are more senators and more House of Rep members and more House of Assembly members in that regard, it's possible that there will be better development to a lot of other parts of Oyo State. So that's what I feel. So I get that angle, but the angle of that, because it was a province before, it's not set in stone, or it's not a law that it has to be. So
it still doesn't matter, though. It's just your opinion and your view, which you are very entitled to, and it's very valid. But the point that he made is extremely valid too. And for whatever reasons, at the end of the day, it is still the same bottom line. The fact that if you want to bring governance closer to the people, a state like Oyo has to be split into at least two, if not three, two. Do you understand? That's a given. The Torombe or whatever they are talking about in Ondo, I never heard about it before. Never thought of anything. So
this Toru Ebe state is supposed to be part of Ondo State, part of Edo State, and part of Delta. But they're talking about how it is supposed to be a southwestern state.
Yeah. So once again,
I'm guessing it's parts of the. You know, there are parts of that in Edo State, or that maybe that they are supposed to be Yoruboids kind of people. That maybe that's the parts that they're looking at that has to be part of Southwest. But if that's the case, then why are we not rearranging places like parts of Kogi State and Kwara State to be part of Southwest?
Yeah, but they're already saying that also. Look at the states that they're asking for, the Okun and all of that. It's part of the list. If you go through that list, the people in that part of Nigeria are also agitating.
But they're in the North Central.
Yes, you cannot move them physically.
Okay.
You can't move them, but the fact that they're in the North Central doesn't mean that they cannot identify with their brothers and sisters in the Southwest. It's the same way, you know, the Easterners will tell you that they have brothers in the South, and the South people are saying, no, we are not. We are, you are. But there are Igbos in Delta State, and Delta State is in the South, you know, and the bulk of the Igbos in Nigeria are actually in, you know, in the Southeast. Meanwhile, there are non-Igbos also in the Southeast. If you look at the borderline and everything, you will understand what I'm trying to say. So it's beyond these geopolitical delineations. It's more about political, a little bit of traditional and cultural, but majorly political. And that's why I'm saying that in the worst case scenario, if only one state is created, let it be in the Southeast.
From the Southeast.
If only one. But if you're going to create, like I'm saying, the way I see it, about 3 more states, 3 more, not 31. But of course, you can't stop people from proposing that you should create more states for them.
Yeah.
You can't stop them.
You just might not get it.
But the fact that they're asking doesn't mean they will get it. You know, there was a plan for Ijebu State, you know, and Ijebu State was supposed to carve out some parts of Lagos. Yeah. And Ogun State.
Yeah, they're talking about even Lagoon State that is supposed to carve out some parts of Lagos.
There was a plan for that, you know. Before this talk of Lagoon, there had always been that Ijebu.
Yeah, there's always been the
Ijebu State and everything. There's now, in the same Ogun State there are the Yewa people who a lot of people would say have been marginalized when it comes to producing governors or whatever in the state, and they've been really pushing for their own chance to produce the next governor.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
You have a comment. Chivodi Gogo says, I'm disappointed in Shola's take. Most of these geopolitical regions don't deserve more than 1.5 states. I can run some of these states on Telegram and Zoom.
I like that. Welcome to the bar. I like what you said. You know, like I said, I'm sure you missed the part where I said I would rather have 6 geopolitical regions, like 6 regions where we have governors or governor general. Call them anything you want to call them, but let it be the southwest region, the south region. Let them now go on their own and create the local government. The local governments there are like the states. Do you get? That way, they have their state councils where the councillors will be. You know, it's basically reduce all the drama around it, but let's get the real impact of governance. You understand? So that's what it is. But I'm saying, but as structured, you know, and I actually stand by it. The Southeast deserves at least one more state
for better representation.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see where all this is going to. But quick question before we leave that: do you think this number of states is ever going to materialize? At least
31.
Yeah.
31 cannot work now. You are talking about how some people will just kick back and say, okay, yeah, take away what we have. It's not possible now. Some of those states now, some of those parts that you want to carve out are the treasure troves of the current
state. Yeah.
So again, when you do that, you know that there's going to be a lot of pushback and everything.
And then even governors, you're not looking at the angle where it looks like even governors, it means that you're watering down people's, you're reducing their powers.
Well, look, some like the former governor of Ondo had said that someone has to go down for someone to come up. Remember that Ekiti used to be a part of Ondo.
Ondo, yeah.
And Delta and Edo were Bendel before. Osun State used to be a part of Oyo.
Yeah.
So if it happens now. And you know how those states are now?
Yeah.
They're all celebrating anniversaries of decades of being on their own. So that's what it is. I don't think you take it as it comes now.
So, alrighty. Now, before we leave the issue, the House of Representatives Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, is now also joined the bandwagon and begging President Tinubu to temper justice with mercy over Nnamdi Kanu's matter and help release him, saying that it will help the insecurity in the Southeast. And I know that this is not the first time we've heard governors, senators, basically leaders of the Southeast clamor for this.
Speaking about insecurity, I see the people of Kaduna, southern Kaduna State. I see them praising the current governor. And someone said something. I'm trying to answer this your question or this your poser and everything. Someone said something that the governor is doing a lot, and if you notice, the incidents of attacks and everything has reduced. You hardly ever hear it anymore.
Because the only time you heard Southern Kaduna is violence. Yeah. Literally.
Okay.
Now,
so again, a few weeks ago, Governor Soludo created, is it Agune Chamber or something, created his own military structure and also working with the federal government and state, actors in security. The state architectural system went all out. Yesterday, they demolished 3 properties that belong to kidnappers. In fact, in one of the properties, they actually arrested those people. And they showed the bush part. I've been following what's happening in Anambra State closely. And I see that if he continues like that, in a few months' time, the issues of insecurity would have reduced drastically in Anambra State. Yeah. Now, if Soludo is doing that in Anambra, and every other governor in the Southeast is doing it, will there be talk of insecurity?
So now, like you said, so my question is, I just need someone to explain to me how the release of Nnamdi Kanu is going to stop people from being criminals.
I know that we always look for, logical reasoning and sensible things, but at times it defies logic the way people think. I have always also, in fact, if someone can ask, someone need to ask them that wait. This Monday sit at home, what have you benefited from it?
Exactly.
All in the name of you are doing something for Nnamdi Kanu.
What has it benefited? It's making it worse. People have died. The economy of the Southeast is Horrible. Do you see the latest
the House of Assembly
numbers that are come out?
The House of
IGR?
Assembly man that was abducted in Anambra State during the Christmas period.
Yeah, he's dead.
Has been found dead.
He's been found dead.
So, this talk about making something safe or secure, let's stop playing to the gallery. Everybody knows what's going on. Everybody knows where the problem is from. And if you're going to let someone who was captured on tape, on video, not even audio, like the other day when a phone conversation was released by an online platform, one of the people who was alleged to be on that audio said he was going to sue them. It's been over a year plus, he hasn't sued them. But that's audio. Some people said it was AI and all of that. But at least the people who released it say they are standing by it. And they have not been. But now we're talking about video evidence. Yes, there's AI video now, we know. But thank God there was no AI when these videos were made. There were live streams by Nnamdi Kanu himself. And some of the things he said on those videos, are you saying for political gain and all of that, they should just let him walk?
Just let it go. So, Chief Onikoko has a few...
Can't he defend himself in court and say it wasn't him?
Yeah, we have a few comments. He says that, I find this appeal to release Nnamdi Kanu very insulting and intricate to decipher. How can you continue to beg on behalf of someone that is not remorseful of his actions? In addition, the monster he created had outgrown him.
Yeah.
He can't tame the lion again. If Kanu is released, he will be eliminated by the same monster he created.
They won't even... I don't think they will listen to him at this rate, If you notice one thing now, notice that the noise has gone down since the guy in Finland has been arrested.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, that's what be released. He says, we also have it on record, and new information shows that NSAS was planned by IPOP in the diaspora. So what are we talking about? My question is, this case has been on for a long time, even in the judiciary. Yeah. Are you just going to tell the judiciary, does the president have such powers? I'm being genuinely curious. Does the president have, yes, we know that, some things can happen, allegedly, but officially, does the president have such powers to just say people should? Because I know this clamor has been since President Buhari did not answer till he left.
Yeah,
how did you think that Tinubu will answer now?
If people quickly forget things, the man was let out on bail.
Yeah, and he jumped bail.
And the rest is history.
That's when my question is like.
So what are your guarantees? The people, let's even say the president, this thing that Tolupo is asking, yeah. Let's say the president now says, you know what, I have such powers. Let him go. And he now goes. Can any of these people speaking for him say that he's not going to go back to what he was doing before?
Exactly. I don't understand the angle.
I feel that, God forbid, that anybody, even if it's us here, that has committed a crime, should have their day in court. And he keeps saying he's not guilty. So let him go to court and actually, what if he's not guilty?
At this point, he's the one that said that...
The best kind of freedom he can get is the one that the court gives him. Recently, Fani Kayode got a judgment that says that the man is free. He said freedom at last. But it's been years of him
back and forth. Yeah.
Do you understand? So who says that Nnamdi Kanu will not get that kind of judgment in court? So anything can happen. So I don't like things that do not follow the law in such scenarios, because you're setting a bad precedent. The kidnapper that has been in lockup, the popular Lagos kidnapper, Evans. Yeah. I heard that he has changed. His lawyer was talking. I saw the video.
What's that?
He has changed. He should be given a second chance. He has done some online courses. He's gotten an education, and congratulations. What happens to the people
that are suffered
that were allegedly killed by him?
Peterman says Kanu should only be released if he comes on TV and, like his predecessors, shares his love for Nigeria. Cowards. Okay.
That's another angle, because I'm worried that if you just let people off and say, okay, you know what, just go. The pressure is too much. They're asking me to let you go. Yeah, go. There are no guarantees.
And what? So I don't understand. I don't understand what.
I feel that everybody deserves to have their day in court, and that day in court should be expedited.
The matter
now.
is in court.
Yeah, it should be expedited.
At the moment, he's the one that is saying that he doesn't want a particular lawyer, or the case should be moved to the southeast. Oh, sorry, he doesn't want a particular judge, and the case should move to southeast. He's the one delaying his own.
How do you even determine which case?
Someone that is not bright. Anyway. The Nigerian Immigration Service has now announced that their contactless passport application system is now going to be rolled out in Europe, the United Kingdom, and Ireland on Friday. Eskisa, Mr. Olubumitujiojo. We that are Nigerians in Nigeria, when are we going to get it? I know that one of the major issues that he talked about is data is the problem in Nigeria. We don't have all our data in one place and all that and all. I get it, but it's not fair. We are the ones that are in Nigeria. We are the ones that are not enjoying it.
But you have options being in Nigeria that the people in the diaspora don't have.
Thing. Everybody goes to
passport office. No, Dolupo. There are passport offices all over Nigeria. For someone who is in Florida now, you probably need to get to Atlanta or something before you can get a passport, or DC. Do you see the problem there? So they need this technology more than us. It's still going to trickle down. They started in Canada. I actually like the concept of allowing the people in the diaspora, because any Nigerian that is going to go through the rigors of getting a Nigerian passport really wants to have it. And the story is changing. We know how people used to suffer. I remember when someone close to me, someone close to me was trying to get a Nigerian passport for their child. They couldn't. In America, they just couldn't. So it was actually easier for them to get the child's American passport, than try to get a visa
and then come to Nigeria to get the passport.
Yeah, so I like the idea of taking it abroad, and because the stories are crazy. And again, we need the diaspora remittances, and we also need the physical presence of our brothers and sisters in the abroad. So please get your Nigerian passport. Come home. It doesn't have to be dirty December alone.
Don't you know we Nigerians, that's why the real first class citizens? Respect yourself. No, you're not.
You are.
No, you're not.
Don't mind this one. You are.
No, you're not.
Your diaspora remittances is doing well for us. You are.
I'm not saying you're in that, but you're not first class.
My appeal to you guys, please don't let it be only dirty December.
Nope.
It can be freaky February. It can be March. Let's just. Please come home and bring money, but get your passport, please.
Anyway, the Sha looks like we're gonna have to wait. I'm actually personally hoping.
You see, you're biased because you are trying to get your own Nigerian passport.
Because I don't want to go. I'm not going to anybody's office. I'm not in the mood to be.
But all of that has reduced now.
I don't want to find out. That's the honest truth. I don't want to find out. If I can get it, I get it delivered to me. Why not? If not, please, was stress. Anyway, Nigerians being Nigerians, or would I say some Nigerians? Don't let me say all. Some Nigerians being Nigerians, as ICPC, the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences, have revealed that they recovered over 20 billion naira in pension deductions from salaries allocated to ghost workers in 2024. So now, let me explain what happened. So it's not the salary. It means that these salaries were already being paid. It is through the pension, meaning that you are a ghost worker. You do not only have salary, you're already collecting pension. They are saving up for pension for you, and you don't even have a job.
Check it.
Okay, Peterman says, Dolupo, don't you know we in Nigeria? Okay, I did not get. Okay, how come I can see here? He says, with this type of behavior, we will not come, Shola. Dolupo's Akwa is too much, Jare. I'll go to Ghana. Go.
Charlie.
Go to Ghana.
Charlie, don't take our money to Ghana.
Go to Ghana.
Don't take our money to Ghana.
Go now.
Please bring our money to the.
You think that your eyes will clear? Your eye will clear. Go.
She's speaking for herself. I'm speaking for all of us.
You have. What? There's nothing you want to enjoy in Ghana. That's it.
Dolupo.
We all know.
Diaspora remittances and diaspora visits are doing a lot for this country.
I'm not saying that it's not. However, if you think that you enjoy the kind of.
So why are you being so disrespectful to?
I'm just being honest. if you think that the
To
kind
the
of
golden
life,
geese that lays the golden
kind
egg.
of life that you enjoy in Nigeria, if you want to enjoy it in Ghana, go. You will see. You will come back by yourself. You by yourself with your own hand, you will come back.
She does not mean that.
I do.
We don't do that here.
I just telling you so that you're not just gonna waste your money. I just be sitting in the house doing nothing. Just information. Anyway, so like I said, what the implication of it was that people were not just only getting paid. There was also deductions from that money so that these people would also get pension after, would I say, so-called retirement. It was said that some people had also arrested some individuals who had fraudulently inserted names of the associates into the federal government payroll. It said pension deductions for legitimate workers. Unfortunately, how they noticed was that a lot of ghost workers were not claiming their deductions, their pension. That was how they, do you understand? That was how they found out some of these things. They said that some people had inserted, the particular person had inserted his wife, his son, and his in-laws on the payroll.
Oshé.
He said that
is our what's that thing they call it again? Our Commonwealth.
There's a 15-year-old boy
That is a pensioner.
on this matter.
Isn't that a case for Guinness Book of Records? The youngest pensioner in the world. How many years do you have to work before you become pensionable?
At this point,
Is it not like 30 to 35
35
years?
Yeah.
But this guy at 15, he actually started working before his parents met. So by the time he was 15, he was pensionable.
It's just ridiculous. Seriously, it is ridiculous. I think that it is beautiful, the work that ICPC is doing on this matter. I think that it is we need to be accountable. Everything is not government. There's too much nonsense that people just do, and we think that is okay. It's not okay. Let's have sense. Let's just have sense. And speaking of people stealing money or allegedly stealing money, the governor of Edo State has now suspended the Edo Attorney General and the local government commission chairman over financial dealings.
It's interesting how, let me start with the fact that these guys just got the job
Do you get
2 months ago, and they're already been suspended for financial interactions. I don't know what that means.
I'm not even sure they've been there for 3 months. Did you come there to steal? What kind of behavior is that one? Anyway, it's interesting, but the fact that it's a whole attorney general of the state is horrible, but it's still allegations. But before we leave Edo State, there's a very interesting matter that happened in Edo State today. The tribunal, the governorship tribunal, interesting news that popped up today as INEC just closed their argument without any witnesses.
Interesting.
They had said that they were going to bring out 5 witnesses. That was the original matter, and then they were even asking for an adjournment because those witnesses were in Abuja before they moved them to Edo State. All of a sudden today they closed their case, saying that they were not coming up with any witnesses anymore. Doesn't that?
It's interesting.
Funny?
Their legal team must be on top of this. Maybe they feel that it's a waste of resources and all of that. Maybe they even feel that it's supposed to be some kind of open and short case and all of that. So we don't know. It's when the judges decide that we'll find out,
Okay. So Peterman has a post.
Okay.
He posted this. However, you had retracted it. Sorry for you, but I saw it.
Okay, what's the thing?
He says, I have a special request. Please tell us the first boy or man you said yes to. Tell us the wahala you put the man through. I just want to know. Asking for a friend.
I'm sure you don't want to know.
What's that supposed to mean?
I'm not talking to you.
What is that supposed to mean? Anyway, Chifoni Koko says, I've not seen my friend Tokumo in a while. Yeah,
It's
fine
it's
actually.
Tokumbo.
It's Tokumbo, Abi.
Tokumbo is Tokumbo.
Tokumbo is Tokumbo in at the moment.
Yeah. According to him, I will be back.
He will be back. He's Tokumbo in at the moment. Just that's all we can say for now. Anyway, let's move on quickly from that. Now, interesting news coming from Ebonyi State, where police said that they have arrested. Remember, there was funny enough, a lot of people did not talk about that story. How there was actually like a community clash, and I think over 15 people actually died. There were talks of how it's Fulani people that came, and there was a lot of back and forth on it a couple of days ago. But now the police have announced that they seem to have arrested the suspect that is linked to the Ebonyi community attack.
That's a good thing. Hopefully this suspect will sing, and himself and his cohorts, all the people working with him, will be brought to book. It's actually good news. Kudos to the Nigerian police.
Okay, now let's talk about something very interesting. This is, I think, happening. This happened in Akwa Ibom State. So, police were invited to a school, a secondary school. Actually, no, primary school, St. Paul Primary School, Ikot Ibiok, Eket local government area of Akwa Ibom State. Primary school, where a 13-year-old boy was arrested. And you'll be wondering, why is the police arresting a 13-year-old boy? This young boy, brought his father's gun to school, threatening to shoot his fellow pupils. And you know what this reminded me of is that, however, they're talking about how this boy is most likely released, but his father has been arrested.
Yeah, so the interesting thing is that he's had the gun since last year. They found it in his father's wardrobe, and he's had the gun since November 2024. I think when he really got pissed off, he was like, you know what, I'm going to deal with these people and all of that. The real question here for me is, I know that the Nigerian laws do not permit you to own pistols like that. Mm-hmm. You can get a license when you go through an agent or direct through government, or you can actually get a license for a double barrel, which is usually used for hunting and all of that. But pistols. But guess what? A lot of these people don't have licenses for these firearms that they bear.
Yeah. Because
most of them are fabricated. Do you get? Most of them are things that, there are people, there's some parts of Nigeria that's what they do. Some parts of Plateau, some parts of, I remember when we were in school, we used to hear about Okamid. And Okamid is actually a fabricated weapon that people used to talk about. So it's most likely what this guy's father has.
The fact that it's bad enough that you have a firearm that is not licensed, and then you now have it somewhere a child can pick it up from. Yeah. And this just reminds me of the gun violence in the US. You hear a lot of people where children pick up arms and they shoot people at times, even unknowingly, or even shoot themselves.
Yeah. And that thing is spreading to Europe now. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. It is crazy.
People are doing these mass shootings and everything.
He probably could have shot himself or shot his classmates, all in the name of maybe somebody annoyed him.
What was his father doing with the gun? What was he doing with the gun? I'm happy that they have him in custody now. He will sing. He has to sing. Let him release his own album.
There's too much insecurity.
Like for me now, I'm supposed to have like a bar. I remember we grew up with, the bar was a part of people's homes.
Yeah.
You get. But I'm thinking, no, you don't want these guys to be saying these things all the time. So the bulk of my stash is hidden up somewhere away from view. Do you understand? Because children are very impressionable. But here you are. You have a gun in the house and your child knows where to get it. And you didn't even know he has had it since November.
Anyway, now let's be a bit of politics. The PDP Disciplinary Committee has now invited former governor of Benue State, Ortom, Samuel Anyanwu and a lot of people that they're talking about a lot of reconciliation.
If it's reconciliation, why is it disciplinary committee?
So apparently they're saying that a lot of people they are supposed to report people that you have issues with to disciplinary committee. Then the disciplinary committee will now invite these people and
see a piece of advice for the PDP: stop playing to the gallery. If you're serious about getting power back, you need serious reconciliation and discipline. At this point, jettison it. Advice I'm giving you. What if Pikin talk say person where they want buy where they go take you can't they take petrol play for where fire day. You go born now. You are messing around. Get all your people back together. You people should sit down, talk, and get your plan on target. Again, what will save your party is to stop one individual from perpetuating himself in position of candidate. I didn't mention anybody's name. That's what's going to save your party.
Anyway,
so, leave all this disciplinary committee.
Matter. Anyway, let's move on for a bit, and let's move on to another very interesting. We're going all the way to the UK, where the leader of the Conservative Party, Kemi Badenoch, is now proposing that the party is proposing, if they become, the ruling party, that they want to extend the path to British citizenship from about 5-6 years to about 15 years. So what I think for now, you have to be in the UK for I think about 6 years uninterrupted before you can apply. They're saying that they want to be making more stringent, and you have to be in the UK for about 15 years. Also, they're saying that if you've been found to be an illegal immigrant, that route will be completely closed to you.
So as it stands now, it's 5 years. You stay in the UK for 5 years. Then after that 5 years, within the space of 12 months, you can actually apply, for your passport. Mm-hmm. So what she's proposing now is that the 5 should be increased to 10. Then the 12 months be increased to 5. So collectively, 15 years. 15 years. And of course, you would have contributed and all of that to the growth of the UK. I saw the video. I think she's missing a trick here. The immigration problem that the UK has is not the legal immigrants that you are targeting. It's the illegals, the ones that are coming on the ships, the ones that are crossing the straits into your country, your island. That's the real problem, because those ones, they're not even chase paper. Yeah. They don't want citizenship like that. Do you get? What they are doing is just doing all the, dirty jobs, and some of them are even bad guys. So your problem, your focus should be, I'm not saying you shouldn't tweak your legal migrant system. It's the illegal migrants that's your problem.
No, they're saying that.
That's what you should need.
Looks like everybody's there.
All this talk of someone saying for 15 years. Do you know how many people have been in that country for decades that don't have any form of documentation?
It's interesting.
I'm sure they exist. I'm not saying I know them, but I'm just saying that I'm sure they exist.
They exist.
But it's rich coming from someone like you. Yeah, I'm not going to leave this topic without talking about it. How did you become a citizen? Were your parents British citizens? Call us. Let's talk. Let's explain it. Kemi, you're doing too much. And trust me, it's going to come back to bite you.
Exactly. I think I agree with Shifoni Koko here. He says, Shola, you're missing the point. The people she represents don't want both illegal and legal immigrants. I agree with you. I think that is the whole thing.
I know. And you're correct. I'm just saying, I'm preferring a solution as against her that is a puppet on a string. That's what Kemi is. She's a puppet on a string. And she's doing the bidding of, masters. It's also understandable. But I'm saying that the solution isn't to stop the illegals more as against the legal ones who are contributing. They are bringing their skill sets and everything. Look, if she gets a chance to do this, and I doubt if she will, but if the Conservatives get a chance to do this, they will be the ones on the losing part, because what it means is that a lot of skilled people that are coming through that route will go to other countries where it's easier to get.
Yeah, when it's easier, exactly. That's what it probably means. Anyway, let's move from the UK and go to the US, which this one is actually interesting. A lot of people might not seem to be okay with this particular executive order that the president of the United States has just signed. This has to do with sports, where he has now signed the executive order seeking to ban transgender athletes from participating in women's sports completely. There's been a lot of talk that he's targeting gay, basically LGBTQ, IA,
P,
what,
S, Y, Z.
To whatever letter you want to add to it. Now, according to him, he says that from now on, women's sports would only be for women.
Like I said, not a big fan of Donald Trump, but he's doing the Lord's work in some aspects of his government. It is unfair, especially on the women.
Because no woman that suddenly becomes a man wants to join male sports.
Yeah, because
it never happens.
If you reverse it now and take a look at the heavyweights, the Anthony Joshuas of this world.
You don't even have the build.
The what's his name? Usyk. Then a woman now comes and says, she's trans and she wants to fight heavyweight boxing.
You know why it cannot even happen, because you don't have that build. You won't even reach
that. If
weight.
A woman exists like that, Olupo, you can't rule it out in this world.
Okay, it's possible.
And she says, they go.
Only one blow.
They will beat the trans out of you.
Oh my God, are you?
So
seriously, you just had to say that.
I said what I said. My own is that, again, when it comes to, and I know it's against the Nigerian law, but my personal opinion is that if you want to be gay, be gay. No problem. Do you get?
Yeah.
But you cannot be born a man and say you feel like a woman. Then you want to contest in women's sports.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I feel that it is people that have failed in men's sports. However you feel, it's whatever you feel is not my business. But the ones that are joining sports, the ones that are joining what's it called, pageants, and taking up awards
and
that are meant for women, is because you have failed woefully in men's sports and men's activities. You are not good at it, and you feel that is the only way you can be what's the word now? You can achieve something with your life. You are fraudulent. I said what I said. Chief Odigo says we all support the bill. How can a man with O and E be competing with women, sharing locker rooms and bathrooms, sir? Like,
it's wrong.
It's just wrong on all levels.
It's wrong.
And then you hear them say, you know, the one that pisses me off the most is someone that said, I think even what's he called? This Bobrisky guy even does it a lot. That he feels like he's ovulating. He feels like, I'm like, can we just? Peterman says, I disagree. Nobody is stopping women from joining men's sports. Nobody is. It's just that, as Esa will say, they will beat the trans out of you. That's all. I'm just saying.
You know,
try it.
I was watching a boxing match one day, and they decked this guy so much that when the referee stopped the fight, he went to the opponent's corner. This is his own red corner. This is the blue corner. My guy, go blue corner.
You know, I saw a video a few days ago. Someone sent me a video where apparently I think it's in the I think is in Asia. There's a sport where a man that is not very fit looking fights with two women.
In Europe, I saw the wrestling last year.
Sort of like wrestling, yeah.
Yeah. Two women.
The women look really way more fit, like fitter than the guy. But the guy still decked both of them at the same time.
I don't mind that kind of sport, but I don't want those kind of masculine looking women. Imagine me just fighting like two babes now in wrestling.
They still got decked.
I won't even be decking anybody. We'll just be we'll be grappling.
I'm going to move on from that. Anyway, at the moment, I think that You can be what you want to be. Good luck to you. To each his own.
Let us allow women get their own space. Let them do their own sports at their own level. Because I foresee some time in the future where women's physical attributes will get stronger beyond what it is now.
Yeah.
But until that day, let the women compete as women, and let the men compete as men.
A safe space.
Yeah.
Now, still talking about sports, the Premier League is said to be considering imposing punishments on players whose goal celebrations feel that they're damaging the reputation of the game, or they are mocking players.
Okay, the Premier League needs to stop. You're overdoing this thing.
Okay, so how come this conversation only happened? It's just happening now.
No, it's been going on for years. Remember when Emmanuel Adebayo had scored against Arsenal because he left Arsenal in some acrimonious situation? He ran the whole 110 yards of the stadium to go and mock the entire traveling Arsenal fans. I think it was when he was playing for Man City or something. Do you understand? So that's a wrong celebration. Do you understand? It didn't start today. It's always been like that. We know some players who get some stick from fans. When they score, they give it back to the fans like,
oh yeah,
make it louder. I can't hear you.
But
so I get that. So if you're going to talk about provocation or provocative celebrations, I get it. But any other thing like that, if you want, I remember when
my own issue is what do you determine what is provocating and not?
JJ, we know what provocation is now. JJ had dribbled like 1 million people on the pitch. Then he scored, took off his jersey and he was waving it, and they give him a red card. You see that taking off jersey thing? They need to come and explain to us why it's wrong.
Why you did? Do you understand? Like,
what's wrong there?
People get red cards for it and yellow cards for it. I'm like, okay, so why is he wrong?
What's wrong there?
I thought I was the only one. Who...
Somebody off jersey. Hey, he off jersey, not in here.
Is it your jersey?
Is
I
it
don't
your
understand.
off?
Like, I still need to explain why that suddenly became a rule.
They just came one day and said if you off jersey, they would give you card.
We still see some players don't even know.
Provocation is you going to the home fans or the opposing fans and rallying them up. That's provocation. But any other thing, like be humble. Or God be humble. Sit down. Be humble. I didn't mention anybody's name.
And speaking of football, Newcastle defeated Arsenal to reach the Carabao Cup final.
I don't know how Arsenal survived yesterday. Isaac scored a fantastic goal.
Yeah, and it was
disallowed. And I said, okay, this is Arsenal's turn to turn it around. No. And they tried, but man,
it don't look like they were ready to win that game.
And you wonder, is this the same Arsenal that beat Man City a few days ago?
I honestly, personally feel that they probably just wanted to get out.
I'm not sure. I just think that Newcastle was a better team on the day. They had their tactics right. They were the hungrier of the two teams, and they got the result that they deserved.
They definitely
4-0, on aggregate against Newcastle.
Yeah, it is what it is. I think that at the end of the day, I was telling someone, I said, if you are following this season, whatever competition, keep your heart out of it.
One of my friends,
everybody.
In fact, the funny thing is, you don't know how many Arsenal fans that are your friends until Arsenal wins a game. The entire display profile on my social media was Gunners. And yesterday,
everybody's quiet.
Not one person.
Everybody's quiet. Now, Chivodi Koko said at this point, Arsenal just needs to buy Isak to stop him from punishing them. I think I agree.
That's a good strategy.
You see, Isak, I was reading
that guy is good.
Yeah,
his stats are fantastic.
Yeah, it's fantastic. They're actually really fantastic. I think I was reading it somewhere that I think it was either him or Zubimendi that they're already planned to buy by the
guy is good.
So anyway, at this point, before we leave this matter, we know that today is going to be Tottenham Liverpool's game.
Please don't write Tottenham off. I know that they're not
at this point,
but don't
you can't write anybody off.
By the end of the day, it's Liverpool Newcastle final.
That was what we thought too. We said it was.
We said Liverpool Arsenal.
At this point, it could be Liverpool, Newcastle. Remember
Let's be humble.
It could be Tottenham, Newcastle. Remember that Tottenham has one goal up on them already.
Yeah.
So at this point, they'll.
And again, hopefully, Slot will not slot in the kids today. Let him play a more serious team.
Yeah, I think so. I think they need to do it, but I think after that we'll be seeing like a 10-day break. On that, okay. Oh wow, our time is fast spent. So on that note, that is all we will take today on the bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow. Thank you so much for all the comments. Have a beautiful,
God bless you guys, and please remember to share the video and like it.
Yep.